Combat Jones. I'm cooking up something real good for Survivor Series.
Ladies and gentlemen, our name is Ringside Renaissance, and we are the best wrestling podcast in the world. Yo, Jesse, ring the bell. Let's get into it.
We're going to start out with some Smackdown.
Yeah, why the hell not? Because it's the elephant in the room. I mean, how can we not speak on that first? What everybody's talking about across the whole IWC, internet, everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman, the wise man, has returned. Yeah. And what a segment that was for SmackDown leading up to that, because we knew it was only 4-on-5. We didn't know quite what was going to happen. Roman Reigns was supposed to come out and surrender to Solo Sikoa. But somehow we figured that wasn't going to happen. But when Paul Heyman came out, I popped.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
And that's been the talk of the wrestling world really for the past week. Like, who's going to be the fifth man? We had rumors, pretty much all but spoiling that maybe Seth Rollins was going to be the fifth man. We had a lot of people, a lot of the Lorik Bressner fans online saying that he was going to return and he was going to be the F5 man.
They still haven't given up hope.
No.
They still think he's going to show up at the end of the match and screw somebody over or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of those people, did we?
No. Because we got Paul Heyman, which was crazy to begin with, which was like earth-shattering to begin with. Like, if the show would have went off the air with Paul Heyman, we would have been happy. But no, it went crazy, and we got the... Woo! Let's go!
We had to save from copyright infringements there.
CM Punk, the best in the world, is back. Say it again.
Get it! It's on.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
That was me when it happened. I was standing on the couches like I was in the club. I was running over the couches. I was running over the house. I was throwing ropes.
How many ropes did you throw?
I don't know. Ask the neighbors. It was seeping through. Out the windows. Out into the lake. Through the cracks in the doors.
And
yeah, baby.
We're obviously talking about coffee creamer and nothing else. Just
absolutely. Yes. CM Punk, the best in the world. The Second City Saint. The straight edge superstar.
Ooh.
With the new $700 belt.
Now the question all of the Ringside Renaissance riders want to know is, did Combat Jones buy that CM Punk belt on WWEshop.com?
There's only 2,000, so somebody got to get me one for Christmas or something. I'm just saying. You could start a GoFundMe, because I ain't buying that. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, appreciate it. But so was a beautiful thing. Leading up to it, I was one of the ones that was like, that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't fit the storyline.
Yeah.
But as soon as Paul Heyman came out, everything just clicked in my head. This makes perfect sense.
Right.
And going back to, you and I have talked off camera about one of the last times we saw Paul Heyman, he was in the ring with CM Punk, and he asked CM Punk, take me with you, like, get me out of here. I don't want to be a part of this. And because he said, if you do me this favor, I'll do you a favor.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And Paul
CM Punk owed him a favor.
Yes. Yeah, because when Paul originally came out in that promo, he was like he was trying to save CM Punk from the bloodline too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made a lot of sense.
While Roman was reigning as the tribal chief, one of Paul Heyman's direct orders was to leave CM Punk alone. Don't touch him.
Yeah. And I wonder if they had it planned all the way back to then.
Oh, it must have. It must
crazy.
have. crazy to think about, to see all the stars aligning the way they have. And CM
Yeah.
Punk came out to the ring with reckless abandon, taping his hand up. He's ready to go. Oh, man, the stare down him and Roman Reigns gave each other with Paul Heyman in the background looking at both of them.
Yep.
Now, the new conspiracy theory is
Yeah.
Paul Heyman is going to screw Roman Reigns over.
Right. I seen that, because that's the one thing that first struck me when he came out was he wasn't wearing the suit. He kind of had like he had the dinner jacket on, right?
Yep.
But he had the red handkerchief or whatever in the pocket. Yeah. We got a little bit different looking Paul Heyman coming out. It kind of caught me off guard, a little more relaxed, you know. And he had brought up the point where he got put through the table in Madison Square Garden, which is cool.
I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm not exactly sure. He got a hell of a pop when he came out, though, and that's what we've been waiting for months, was to hear those ladies and gentlemen, and not from Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if the red handkerchief or whatever has to do with that, because it could be red for the bloodline too, for the OG bloodline, because they wear red too. So there's nothing. I don't know. Yeah. And how about that?
Dig.
Yeah, they're digging. Yeah, they're looking for it. And then they're saying Brock Lesnar is going to show up at the end and screw over Roman and Punk and turn with Paul or turn on. But I don't freaking know. Something like that. But it's crazy. We'll see, of course.
Now, stay with me on this one, because I also read online, and you know me, I don't dig in the weeds very much, that there's a possibility that one of the members of Roman Reigns' team, I'm not going to say his name, but his name rhymes with Sami Zayn, might get taken out at Survivor Series and Seth Rollins replaces him.
Yes, I think I shared something with you about that too. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
Saying that Kevin Owens might do it. And yeah, I mean, it's possible, right? But I think it would kind of be a letdown for people to not see Sammy with the bloodline in that match. I think it goes off better making, Seth, them to be like to Seth now, oh yeah, we don't need you anymore. Thanks a lot. Get out of here. Just to piss him off, to build even more tension between him and Punk.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, because Seth Rollins, like you said, already has an issue with CM Punk, and now CM Punk siding with Roman Reigns, who's Seth Rollins' mortal enemy,
right,
as they say, and like it just builds the heat more for a Rollins and Punk feud down the line.
Yeah,
I think that this works out better than Seth Rollins being the fifth guy.
Yeah.
It can just be a one-off at this point. It doesn't have to build any more of a story because if Roman and Seth team together, that story would have to continue beyond Survivor Series. This is just like, hey, I'm cashing in a favor, then I'm going to be on my way, you know?
Yeah. And it makes it a big spectacle too, putting Punk in it, because you got the biggest draws in it, short of like having Cody in it too. You got the biggest draws in the match now. Like, I wouldn't, I'm biased. I wouldn't have cared if it made sense or not. They put Punk in it. Okay. Survivor Series main event. Let's go. But it makes all the sense with Paul Heyman. And then Roman hitting the spear and Punk hitting the GTS at the same time on the Tonga twins.
And then at the end, they all stand there and put the ones up except for CM Punk.
Yeah. So good.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have wanted to be your maid after that, washing those sheets.
Oh yeah. They're on the payroll. Yeah, what a freaking moment. I mean, what more of a spectacle could it be? It's smart to put him in it, because we hadn't heard if Punk was going to be back for Survivor Series. We thought he's maybe going to come back and screw Seth somehow, and I guess he technically did in another one way or another, right? But I feel like they could have made it even bigger spectacle and put The Rock instead of Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't going to happen, but could you imagine, like, that would be the ultimate freaking 5-on-5 right there.
And like I had mentioned before, Rock's too big of a superstar to be doing some match like this. That's a high risk. He's too Hollywood to be blowing something out or get seriously hurt in a cage match, and then, they would postpone all of his whatever. I see him coming out at the end. There's something going to happen with The Rock at the end.
He's too big for Survivor Series.
But it'd be really interesting, because this Survivor Series would be the 20 6th anniversary since he won his first world title. He won it at Survivor Series 98.
There you go.
But yeah, so yeah, the mind game. No, not mind games. What the hell was that called? Anyway, yeah, there was a tournament for the title, and he ended up. That's when he beat Mankind and sided with the corporation. But
okay, yep.
Boy, I don't know how else, like you said, they can make it bigger besides The Rock. I mean, I was one of those ones that was really anti CM Punk being in this, but now that I got CM Punk in this and I know it's what it's going to be, I'm pumped. I'm like jacked up for it. So
right. And it's a good full circle because, like we said, Punk had came back last year at Survivor Series, and that was his big start. And they had just released like an 11-minute video of the backstage happenings of CM Punk returning and him going out and then being greeted by everybody and his interactions with Triple H and all the other superstars backstage. And Seth Rollins was not there. Yeah, it was cool to see him and Dominic look at each other. Dominic's looking at him like, "Oh, you remember who I am?" Like, it was cool.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm a little bit worried as far as the rest of the card. Maybe they're putting too many eggs in a basket, just wanting the WarGames match to carry this whole thing. And Survivor Series is one of the big four. But boy, if they're just going to have one match to carry it, this is one that's going to carry it. But I'm just really pumped to see this now. The sides have been set, the battle lines have been drawn. It's ready to go. Barring one of these outside things that we had talked about, I think it would be just too much to have Brock Lesnar come back at this point. Like we've talked about with different things, you're muddying the waters too much.
Right.
Like you got to let things as be what they are.
We are going to do a separate prediction video, a quick one, I believe, right before Survivor Series.
What's that?
Yeah. We're going to do a quick prediction before Survivor Series, I believe.
So
okay. So I won't. I'll save what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Y'all can wait. I'm trying to get into it, but I think we will get something at the end. That's all I'll say. Yeah. It's got to be.
Well, I was going to ask you, what do you think the outcome's going to be? Then I thought about it and said, oh, we're going to do a prediction episode. So.
And I don't know. I want to wait and see what happens on Raw and then SmackDown too. We don't, that's the night before, I believe. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't see them as booking matches the night before Survivor Series, though.
I would think. So, if there's only 3 matches, I would assume we're going to have like 5, right? No more than 5 altogether, for sure. They may add 1 or 2 more here on Raw or SmackDown. Probably Raw would probably be a better time to add it to get people ready. But if they only do have those 3 matches, it's just going to show how long those matches are going to be. Obviously, the WarGames matches between the men's and the women's, like they're gonna book that and they're gonna milk the time out of that for sure.
Yeah, and I would like to see like at least one mid card title defended. I think we might get Shinsuke Nakamura and LA Knight.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Seeing what happens tonight, maybe something with Sheamus and Kaiser with Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. I think those guys, LA Knight, obviously he's a superstar. Braun Breaker is a rising star, but to have them have a shining moment on a PLE, I think would just do wonders for their career. Or maybe even the tag titles. I'd like to see one of the tag titles defended.
Yeah, this should be a tag match. Yeah.
So we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we got Cody and Kevin Owens scheduled for Saturday night main event for the championship, so we're not getting that. And they had their promo on SmackDown, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Streaming match.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I felt like I was driving through Wiggletown on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
like that's all you'd hear.
Yeah. It's the government's fault. It was like the Macon Hotel. Yeah. Yeah. Who's the victim here? I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'll tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you who the victim is Cody, because his best friend, his confidant, his number one guy, his right-hand man, his side piece, if you will, just completely turned his back on the champion. Jealous, obviously.
Yeah.
That Cody Rhodes has had so much success, superstar success, and Kevin Owens has just fallen to the wayside. I mean, or maybe I can understand why Kevin Owens stinks.
Well, maybe Cody's just ungrateful for the help that he's gotten, and he wouldn't have got to that place without without KO and all these people helping out. And now he's kind of turned his back on them.
May I remind you
Maybe
that
he's a little jealous.
May I remind you that at WrestleMania 40, the biggest main event of all time, when Cody Rhodes faced Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Finish this story.
And finish this story. Kevin Owens was nowhere to be found to help out Cody.
Well,
so was he truly a friend in the first place? Because the bloodline was coming out and just interrupting and interfering every twist and turn, and we didn't get Kevin Owens even come out and show his little freaking weasel face.
That's true. He tried. I mean, I'm not sure where he was at that point. Was he hurt?
Or was it a plan all along?
Was it a plan?
Working with Solo all along.
Oh Lord, no. I'm on Team Kevin. Obviously, I stand with Kevin. And I think Kevin is right for the most part. But I would say they both gave valid points. I think they're both a little bit of delusional. Honestly, I think they're both a little out there. I think they both need to come back to reality.
I think the only valid point that Kevin Owens has proved is that he is a gutless, coward, white piece of trash. That's all he's proven through all this. And I am just completely disgusted with Kevin Owens and everything he's been doing. My fandom for him, I've been a fan of Kevin Owens for 20 years.
Wow.
And this is unforgivable. At this point, go to the Cucamonga Kids, because I don't even want to see you on my WWE program anymore.
Well, as you know, I had wrote a whole paper on it, and I had bullet points, and I had explained them all on the show a few episodes ago. And it's like Kevin Owens watched the show because he came out and he cut that compelling promo in Cody's face, screaming at him, and went right down the list of everything I said. So, need I say more? It seems like the IWC agrees with me, so I'll rest my case.
I would rest my case, but it's going to take me days to put you in the dirt and show you everything that you've said wrong about this. So I'm just going to let you pretend like you have this one, because a good friend of mine once told me I'd rather be happy than right. And if I'm going to prove my point to be right, I'm going to be miserable doing it. So
well, I'm glad you
can have this one.
Making you happy makes me happy.
Happy ending. So this turned into a whole... I don't know why Kevin Owens came from the crowd.
Because he's a man of the people.
Okay. And it was just them screaming at each other. You never cared about me.
Yeah.
You just cared about yourself.
And Cody Rhodes even had to go out there and quote the great Sabrina Carpenter. Please, Kevin Owens, come out here now. Yeah.
I forgot all about that till you.
I kind of felt like I was watching like a rom-com where they got in a fight and they're in the middle of the street in like Times Square and they get in an argument. You are so full of yourself. And they just go their separate ways, and it's snowing, and it's, New York. Yeah, Christmas in New York.
Maybe they watched a film or two before they went out and cut this masterpiece of a promo. Yeah, so I'm a little bit disappointed that Cody, and this is just all the ammo for all the Cody haters out there to say that his title reign sucks because he's not defending his title at a PLE. Yeah. And it's not his fault at that point. Like, he's not the one booking the matches. So
right.
If that's kind of the direction that we're going in, that's no fault of his. I would like to see him defend his title more, but
yeah, it's not his fault.
I'm not going to hold that against him.
And KO said, he's like, what I did I like Randy Orton, and look what I did to him. I pile drived his ass on the ring, Mm-hmm. But I hate you, so it's not going to be any spoiler of what I'm going to do to you, Cody. The Cody crybabies are going to come out. Dave LaGreca, get your tissues ready.
I just think this isn't going to end the way you think it's going to end. I think
Probably not.
The American Nightmare is going to throw up at Saturday night's main event and tell that little turncoat Kevin Owens really where to stick it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But Kevin's still right. Yeah.
He's not.
Cody's just better, and he's the champion.
We had another match in the United States Women Qualifier. We had Chelsea Green, Bianca Belair, and Blair Davenport Yeah, in a triple threat match. I really didn't want to side with the people saying that people getting called up from NXT really don't get whatever, but Blair Davenport has been squandered massively since she's been called up to the main roster.
She has, and she's kind of like a random call up too, because I don't think she had really won much championships in NXT either.
No.
So she's kind of like randomly come out of nowhere, and then this is Blair Davenport. Like, we know who she is, but yeah, they haven't done anything with her. She hasn't really won. She's there to be the heel, obviously, which she does good at.
This match was whatever. I love this great big Chelsea Green backing that the fans seem to have gotten. I don't see it, but I'm glad that like there's like a massive movement for Chelsea Green right now. But during the match, you know, Bianca Belair had the upper hand, and it looked like she was going to put this away. And then we got a little bit of a backstage video from the parking lot for Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell took her out, but it's like the Hulk came and
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, or worse. Like, did you see the shape she was in? Would they leave her in the dumpster, or was it on a car? Or no, it was on a car.
On a car.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Bronson Reed splashed.
Yeah,
Braun Strowman through a car. That's his MO.
I wonder if the windows were blown out. I don't. Yeah, I mean, but
maybe.
But damn, that
blown out.
Yeah, Jade Cargill. Woo. I mean, that car was demolished. She was demolished. She was battered. Yeah. It was not good.
Now the IWC is in a buzz of who done it.
I want to know who done it, because whoever done that did some serious work. Because Jade is not no light work.
Yeah, there's going to be an investigation. Maybe they have to bring Leslie Nielsen in, like when he found out who the fake Undertaker was. But I would want to really know who did it. A lot of people are saying that Naomi was probably behind it. Like, she's jealous of Jade Cargill. There's some people saying that it might be Bayley that was behind it for some strange reason. Even Piper Niven, because of Chelsea Green being in the match.
Yeah, I could see maybe Piper, Niven. That makes sense with Chelsea being in the match. Like, Nia Jax doesn't really make sense, but man, it's got to take a powerhouse to do some work like that to Jade. Like, she was messed up. Like, messed
up. It looks like
she
fell off a third-story balcony or something, as much as that car was indented.
Yeah, like, and then like all over, she was just all like, whoo. Call Bianca, CSI. Call an ambulance.
So Bianca ran out to go help her partner, who was already down and out, and Chelsea Green picked up the win over Blair Davenport, moved on.
Yep.
It was the best match ever. It was
best match ever.
It was the best match ever.
Yeah.
There was no match better than this.
How about that in prettier too? Unprettier.
It looked very unpretty.
She's got a nice spin on that.
4 times the setup.
The audience is on her side though, and she stays true to the character too. Like,
yeah, she got a big pop. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the reasoning is behind Jade Cargill being taken out, and I think you have an idea of the reasoning, but
I don't know.
You have no clue?
No.
Some people may say that a 5-on-5 WarGames like match like that might be hard to navigate through for somebody that's not as experienced as Jade Cargill is, and it might.
So you think they're going to take her out of the WarGames match? Really?
That's yeah.
Wow. Okay. I wonder if it's somebody that hasn't returned yet. Maybe like a Charlotte Flair or like a. I wouldn't see Becky Lynch doing that to Jade. She doesn't have any beef with her. Well, nobody really has beef with Jade. That
I heard it might be Brandy Rhodes. Who told you it was open mic night, bitch?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe Bianca's behind it. I don't see how that would make sense.
Yeah, because then she just lost.
Why would she leave? Yeah, I just don't know. It's interesting
time
though.
Will tell.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis, you have your work cut out for you, man. Do your job and hire the right investigators. Let's get to the bottom of this, okay? Just like Andy wants to get to the bottom of Jade Cargill. The United States title.
Okay.
was on the line. LA Knight defended against Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
LA Knight needs to defend this title against somebody that's credible.
Yeah.
Like, just beating the same
faction over and over. Yeah, it's kind of been the same thing. We thought he was going to lose it to Melo. Melo's kind of out in the wind and talking shit backstage and getting yoked up. Yeah.
Man, yeah. LA Knight defeated Santos Escobar with the BFT. Another great way to incorporate the BFT, like the way he reversed into it to get the win.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, man, on the big screen again, a lot of packages. Everything turned red. LA
Knight. LA Knight. You were scared to lose your title.
Oh, you speak Japanese.
I feel like that's my only problem. I thought it was funny, it was cool, but I feel like it's the same exact thing he did to Cody. Shinsuke like cut the same promos. He had the same like animated, anime things or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not mad though. I'm glad Shinsuke's back. Like we said, we thought people were talking he was going to go to AEW or do this or that, but he's a good member of the roster. He can do his thing.
I'm glad he borrowed some of the lady wrestler's eyeliner because he used a lot of that mascara and everything else running down his face. That'd be a good matchup, though, a solid matchup for LA Knight to continue with his. So to go back real quick, after the little confrontation with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes was backstage and Carmelo Hayes was talking shit to him.
He's talking crazy.
Cody Rhodes was not having that tonight, sir.
No. Yeah, Melo was giving him the business. Yeah. Melo was talking sideways out his mouth and he got slapped up for sure. Cody threw him into that. Yeah.
I think Cody talks sideways out of his mouth. That's why he's got this.
Yeah. He definitely does. Yeah. Yep.
So the tweet heard around the world afterwards of Carmelo Hayes. He said he met up with CM Punk backstage and he'll never lose a backstage fight again.
Yeah.
Absolutely golden.
Yep. Gold. Facts. Jewels. Punk is everywhere dropping jewels. Yep.
Motor City Machine Guns were backstage talking a little bit.
Yeah.
Street Profits were, Gargano was a little bit upset about what happened with Ciampa, and Motor City Machine Guns said that they want to give Street Profits another title opportunity, which led to Angelo Dawkins against Ciampa. Ciampa lost.
Yeah. I'm over it with this stuff. Yeah.
Put Motor City Machine Guns in a meaningful feud. And that was pretty much it for SmackDown, right?
Yeah, that was it. The big thing. The only thing everybody remembers is Punk and Paul Heyman now.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what we're on. I almost forgot Cody and Kevin Owens had that whole promo at that point. By the time it was over, I was just gone. Yeah,
when the OG Bloodline got in the ring with Solo's Bloodline, I was wondering what they were going to do. I was wondering where it was going to go and if it was going to be another beatdown. I really wasn't expecting Paul Heyman at that moment.
No, me neither. I was like, oh, God, let's just not have another beatdown again. Like, I was wondering, like, somebody's going to come out, Seth going to come out, or one of these other people, Zilla or whoever, but Hercules or Hikuleo, whatever his name is.
But Paul Heyman's got a lot to answer for since his phone was disconnected. So
right. We'll see why. Yeah. Even though he was doing Q&As with Roman and other places outside the WWE. Yeah. But I think we'll see something on Raw with Punk, hopefully, and maybe the Bloodline coming up to him and asking him to address it and being like, you better stay out of this, and he says no and gets beat up and then gets saved maybe, or something like that, or a face-to-face with Paul Heyman and CM Punk, maybe a little promo there showing some love. I don't know if he's announced to be on Raw. I'm not sure, but I hope so. Probably be smart.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
And keep Drew McIntyre away from this, please. Nothing negative against Drew McIntyre, but this needs to be its own thing.
Right.
Drew needs to come back and screw Damian Priest over at Survivor Series and start that whole thing.
That's smart. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. Hell yeah.
You know what they call me the smart mark. So
Jestradamus. Yeah.
And that was WWE Smackdown. Looking forward to Raw and SmackDown leading up to Survivor Series.
Yeah.